Public meetings of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Qom. The house of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in the holy city of Qom hosted another round of the public meetings of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi. In these meetings, the Grand Jurist meets various groups of seminarians, clerics, religious scholars, activists, and the public groups of people. Discussions on Islamic jurisprudence and beliefs are also part of these meetings. Nonviolence published a statement on International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists. Coinciding with the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists, Nonviolence Incorporation Free Muslim Association published a statement that reads as follows: In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. While writing these lines, it is so unfortunate to admit that the fate of many journalists is yet to be determined. Many of these journalists risk their lives to expose crimes and hypocrisies by powerful governments and regimes, and in doing so, they were persecuted, arrested, and put in prison. On this note, Nonviolence Incorporation Free Muslim Association honors the International Day to End Impunity for Crimes Against Journalists on November 2nd and requests the UN and the international community to safeguard the rights of journalists and members of the press. This Human Rights Foundation also called for immediate and decisive actions to be taken in order to rescue the journalists who are now detained by governments and face torture on a daily basis. It is high time for all human rights foundations to join forces and demand the freedom of all journalists and members of the press, as they are the cornerstone to democracy and freedom of expression. Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi holds scholarly meetings in Beirut, Lebanon. The Office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Beirut, the Lebanese capital, holds series of scholarly meetings. These meetings are attended by senior scholars and clerics, including Sheikh Jalal Maash, one of the representatives of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi. These meetings are held every week on Saturdays and Sundays. Director of PR Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi meets Grand Ayatollah Fayaz in London. Syed Arif Nasrullah, the director of the PR Office of the Grand Jurist Ayatollah Shirazi based in Holy Kabbalah, visited the great Shia Islamic jurist Ayatollah Fayaz at a hospital in London. During this visit, the Grand Jurist PR manager, along with some members of the Ali Akbar community in London, met with the Grand Ayatollah Fayaz and wished him a quick recovery. It is worth noting that the Grand Ayatollah Fayaz underwent an eye surgery in London over the past few days. After this meeting, Mr. Nasrullah, the PR manager of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi, stated, "The Grand Ayatollah Fayaz did not even cancel his public meetings with people despite his eye surgery. And this shows how much His Eminence cares about the situation of Muslims around the world, particularly in Iraq." In the end, Mr. Nasrullah hinted that the Grand Ayatollah Fayaz encouraged all Shia believers to preserve their unity and uphold the culture of Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. Anwar al-Jawadain Institute holds cultural conference in Dighar province of Iraq. Anwar al-Jawadain Institute, affiliated with the office of the Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Dighar province of Iraq, hosted a cultural conference which was attended by several cultural and religious activists. In this conference, Sayyid Murtaza Sharafuddin made a speech about the position of morality in the Islamic societies. In the end of this event, the participants honored the anniversary of the martyrdom of Sayyid bin Jubair, the loyal companion of Imam Sajjad, peace be upon him.